Railroads also helped grow other industries that ended up changing the physical geography of Texas. One of the greatest commodities in the Lone Star State was trees. The Great Pine Forest of East Texas remained largely untouched for most of history. Early observers described the woods of East Texas as almost park-like, with very little undergrowth. Some of the trees grew to 150 feet tall and 5 feet in diameter. That attracted entrepreneurs. The first commercial sawmill in Texas started in 1833. But by 1860, there were about 200. Most sawmills operated on a modest scale for local customers and mostly made lumber, shingles, and barrel staves. There were also a few turpentine refineries as well. The vast majority of Texas trees, though, remained largely unbothered until 1880. Railroads brought in big factory lumber mills. Orange, Texas, blossomed into the center of this industry with 17 major operators surrounding the town. Pennsylvanians Henry Latour and Beadle Moore brought extensive experience in clearing trees and working with timber products to Texas, and ushered in the great Texas timber boom. Others followed. Texas Cherokee John Martin Thompson owned thousands of acres near present-day Kilgore in East Texas and made a fortune in the lumber business. German immigrant Joseph H. Kurth started operating in Polk County and Angelina counties and grew wealthy. Virginia native Thomas L. Temple learned the business near Texarkana, then moved deeper into the woods to create a wood products dynasty. Houstonian John Henry Kirby, in partnership with investors from Boston, Massachusetts, soon became known as the Prince of the Pines, as his business and legal training helped him build a timber and railroad empire. Turning all these Texas trees into money was hard work, involving long hours, low pay, and frequent accidents. Wages were about $1.50 to $2.50 for an 11-hour day, which equates to about $45 to $75 a day in today's money. Skilled labor, which earned a little more, included tree fellers, wood scalers, timber loaders, skid operators, and railroad crews. In a surprisingly short time, workers obliterated the old-growth timber in East Texas. Men with shovels, axes, and picks carved wagon roads into the forest where they would fell the trees. Sawmen cut them into logs, while other crews loaded the timber onto wagons. Later, these dirt tracks gave way to narrow-gauge railroads, increasing the efficiency of this phase of the operation. What these men left behind was desolation. Clear cutting turned whole forest into wasteland. Workers transferred the harvested wood onto standard gauge railroad cars, which carried it to the sawmills. There, skilled hands like sawyers, edgers, trimmers, planers, and saw filers transformed the trees into lumber. Railroads carried the finished product to market. These early timber barons thought little of the future. Instead, Texas had trees for the taking, and they took them. This lack of sustainable resource management eventually crippled the industry. Within decades, Many of the mills shut down because the trees were simply gone. The once mighty forest lands now looked like a moonscape, and rains eroded the exposed soil. What had been pristine woodlands lay abandoned. The Texas lumber industry had to regroup and reevaluate its future. Texas trees and the men who harvested them added a layer of sawdust to the Texas story.